Okay, let's return to our extensive coverage of the ceasefire and the war between the US, Israel and Iran. Saudi Arabia's energy ministry says it's restored operations in its east-west pipeline that was affected by Iranian attacks. And that's according to the state news agency, which says the pipeline has full pumping capacity amounting to around 7 million.
This is what is happening. Okay, Saudi Arabia restores east-west pipeline to full capacity after attacks.
Barrels of oil per day. We're going to bring in
7
Malik
million
China.
barrels. Okay.
He's joining us live from Kuwait City. It seems as though Gulf countries are starting to rebuild at least part of their fuel networks in the midst of the ceasefire, Malik.
Malik.
Yeah, that's right, Rob. I mean, I think the first thing was assessing the damage that has happened from these, devastating Iranian attacks. Dozens of oil facilities have been targeted across the Gulf. And from this statement earlier, the Ministry of Energy in Saudi Arabia saying that it's restored full pumping capacity from the East and West pipeline. I think we have to remember this is an extremely important pipeline for Saudi Arabia. It's been able to circumvent the closure in the Strait of Hormuz. Saudi Arabia has the benefit of having the Yanbu port in the west towards the Red Sea.
Okay, Saudi Arabia ministry says work is still ongoing to restore full production at its Quraysh field.
They've been able to export oil through there, and just a few days ago they said they lost that pipeline was damaged, which lost about 700,000 barrels per day capacity.
Okay.
They've also restored production to the Manifa oil field, which they said damaged, caused 300,000 barrels of
This is how bomb. Look, see, this is in the arrow. This is bomb. See,
capacity.
boom. You see,
they're still working on the Khurais oil field to restore production there. Saudi Arabia is
Saudi Energy Ministry says Manifa field production has recovered additional 300,000 barrels per day.
it has the benefit of having that Yanbu port in the Red Sea, whereas Kuwait here, they don't have any other alternative except the Strait of Hormuz. Production has gone from around 3 million barrels a day to just around 500,000.
You see, 3 million to 500,000 a day. This is what we got. 25% decrease.
Maybe even lower than that after the latest attacks. I think it just goes to show the importance to the Gulf that this ceasefire has. That how important it is for this war to completely end. So that
you see right here, this is the another bomb coming, missile, another coming.
The oil sector, which is the beating heart of these economies, can start to repair all the damages and start to reach normal capacity. How important it is also for the Strait of Hormuz to open. So I think, after we saw the talks in Islamabad with the parties not being able.
This is what happened when an interceptor intercepts a missile in a space.
To come to a deal. I think the push from the Gulf will be to keep the diplomacy going. I think, since the beginning, the Gulf has said that there is no military option. Diplomacy is the only path towards bringing a long-term solution.
Yes, democracy. We need democracy. Full democracy. That's how we're going to win this thing. All right.
I think you'll see a push, a lot of diplomatic flurry from officials here trying to, calm the situation, bring both the U.S. and Iran back to the negotiating table to come up with a comprehensive deal that will include, I believe, from the Gulf's perspective.
Yes.
Lebanon.
Okay. This is what it is. Lebanon.
There's a fear that Israel may sabotage.
Saudi Energy Ministry says it has restored full pumping capacity in East-West pipeline after attacks.
This deal. And
this is what it is.
The Strait of Hormuz, which is extremely important. So the push will be for diplomacy to prevail to bring long-term peace to this entire region.
Yes.
Reporting there from Kuwait City.
Thank you, man. Subscribe, follow.